Hello everyone and welcome to Infused Transitions. If you're new here, thank you so much for deciding to join us. We're so glad that you're here. And for those of you who are returning, thank you guys so much. I love your support, your being here, the helping to grow this channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. For those of you who are new, well, for all of you actually, as you know, if this doesn't resonate with you, that's perfectly okay. You're invited and welcome to check out any of the other videos that are available for you on this channel. And we're just going to jump in. If you do want to know any more about how I read, what else I do besides this, or what other services and stuff I offer, you can check out all of that in the description box below, and you will see the my website there, the address to my website. Okay, so these are the decks that I have out on the table here today. I'm not sure which ones we'll be using. I'm just going to let everything unfold and find out what's wanting to come through at this time. Okay, if there's any of these that you want to know what they are, then you can pause the video and check them out at your convenience. All right. All right, so let's see. We are going to get going here. What one are we going to use first? All right, we're going to start out with this deck. All of these decks have been pre-shuffled, but I will still do a shuffle here. Well, a few shuffles. All right. That is so funny because this card has come up. Let's see if I can get it so it shows. Has come up multiple times in the last few readings. It's really interesting because it either comes out, falls out, or it comes out as in it's on the bottom of the deck. And it says, I trust the timing of my life. Everything I want comes to me exactly when I need it. And what I find so interesting about this card is this card typically has not come out for me in the past. I'm really trying to get it so you can actually see it all at once, but it's really not working with me here. I've never seen this card come out so many times, but I find it interesting that it's coming out now and keeps coming out because we have so much happening astrologically speaking, you know, as far as planetary placements, you know, with the sun, the moon, and then all the different planets and stuff. Is just everything is, there's just so much activity in the skies right now. So I would say, one, yes, it's about trusting in the timing, but I also feel like that it's a message that maybe for some there's an influence of planetary placements. I'm not a person who, astrology fascinates me, but I don't study it or know about it. But if that seems like that's for you, you know, there's plenty out there that you can explore, use your own discernment. But yeah, so it feels like there's something there about planetary placements for some people. We have, I let go of all expectations. So we can put our everything I want comes to me exactly when I need it. We can put out our dreams, our hopes, our wishes, right? Those things we're wanting to manifest. And then letting go of, you know, the attachment to that. Letting go of the attachment to it, the attachment of what it's supposed to look like when it comes to fruition, and, you know, your expectations, you know, that are, you know, because that just ends up gumming up the works for us. We have, today is a sacred gift from life. This is a beautiful card. If I could actually get it to, I really do love cards that have this on it, but I do know that It can be very challenging to have the stuff show up. Sometimes with the lighting. I do have to apologize to you guys right away because my setup is a little bit different here. I have my stand in a different place and it's actually on the surface, which means it's going to get moved from time to time, I'm sure. I'm going to try not to, but you know, it happens. It's life. Roll with it, right? And then of course I live in a busy household. So I may have to pause the video because there is going to be people coming and going and, you know, we have animals. Okay, so I have my ability to conquer. My challenge is my ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. And this is another one that has come out more than once recently. So I find that interesting. So there may be some of us that are going through some challenges. And again, planetary movement, planetary placements can be adding to the challenge in the sense of just internal things that we're dealing with or looking at or that's coming to us currently around all of that because of all the movement, on top of everything that we normally deal with in a day-to-day basis of our life. The bottom on the deck, we have my mind is my tool to use in any way I wish. Oh, and a split. My world is a reflection of my thinking. So both of these are about the mind. And I also find it interesting because this one is talking about your ability to conquer your challenges is limitless, but how do we feel about that? How do we think about that? How do we, you know, do we believe that? You know what I'm saying? So that may be something to keep in mind. All right. I'm being drawn to this one. So let's see. It's so weird because I'm trying really hard not to tap them down like I normally do. And because it'll jar the stand that's holding the camera here. All right. Oh, look at that. It's just staying on me. All right. All right, so first one out, we have express your individuality. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. Love that. Okay. Sun. Your sun is watched over and protected as he explores his world. And again, take it how it resonates, okay? You're going to go, well, I don't have a sun. Well, this is a general reading. It's for several different people. And this can also be things from past lives, not just this lifetime. So, you know, maybe it applies to you and you just don't know. So, I'm not sure what came out next here. Wow. Okay. So, all right. So we got ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. So for some of you, there may be a benefit to asking for assistance if that is what you're needing. And I'm feeling like, and again, it's about these wishes. So we have this manifesting and letting things go of your expectations, right? And putting things out there, because when you blow on those dandelion things, right, they go all over the place to plant seeds. And then we have emotional healing. As your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. So maybe for some of you, there is this, that's one of the challenges, right? Maybe one of the challenges you're dealing with right now is trying to do some emotional healing. But it may be important for you to, or I should say, and it may be important for you to ask for help. If you don't know where to find it, put that out there to the universe, you know, and not in low vibing way, right? Because it's easy for us to go, oh, I need and I want and I have to have kind of stuff because we're in distress. But it is more about, even if you can only hold it for a space of 30 seconds, you can say a lot in 30 seconds. You know, try to raise your vibration and think about how you would feel if you had already received this emotional healing. So, you know, just really looking at, oh my gosh, universe, I'm so putting out this request for assistance because I'm wanting to create, you know, my emotional healing where I feel yada, 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 yada. I feel beautiful. I feel, and I don't mean beauty as in the face or body. I'm talking beauty within. I feel beautiful. I feel happy. I feel expansive. I feel joy. I feel, you know, go down your thing. And if it's not about what you feel, you know, it's you're wanting to create, you know, I'm asking to have you bring in this beautiful, beautiful inner peace and inner calmness, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. Yeah, I do feel like for some of you there, it may take practice because it's feeling like I'm hearing, you know, self-talk. So for some, I got practice, practice, practice. With daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. Well, our gifts and talents, you know, they are directly influenced by our heart and mind, right? And it is important about taking control of our heart and our mind, our emotions and our mind, instead of letting them just go crazy, right? And then for some of you, we've got travel. An upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. Now, some of you may go, I'm not traveling anywhere. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's about traveling, you know, to another country. It can be simply you literally got in the car and you drove across town and you stopped somewhere that you weren't even expecting to stop or hadn't even thought about stopping at. And, you know, you met someone there that just got into a great conversation and they happened to say something that it's like, that's exactly what I needed to know. That's, you know, great. It can be something like that. It can be it can be something that seems utterly ridiculous. And by that, I mean, I've got this large Himalayan rock salt lamp, right? And I was living in another state at the time, and I was on my way home. I was trying to hurry up and get home because I had been gone way longer than I had anticipated. And I had left, you know, I had dogs and I had my dogs in at the house. And, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get home. And I was stressing at how long it was taking me to get across town. And I was coming along this road that had, you know, strip mall area. And I got that I needed to stop at a home goods store. And I was like, no, I can't. You know, my dogs have been in for so long. And I love home goods, right? And it was like, you know, I kept getting, no, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go. And I argued like I know more, right? Whatever. And I argued about that. And then finally I was like, fine. Okay, I'm going to go there. But whatever reason you're telling me to go there better happen quick because I got to get home to my dogs, right? Again, how arrogant of me to sit and tell, you know, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever that is for you, right? That, you know, it's just funny. It's funny now. But anyway, so I go in the door, and as soon as I step in the store, and they have those double sets, right? You go in this glass and you're like in that little enclosure space. And then there's the other double glass doors that actually take you into the store. And as soon as I stepped in this first set and I hadn't even touched the door to go into that second and actually enter the store, I saw Harvey, which is the name of my rock salt lamp. And I saw him. And my eyes just immediately honed in and zoned in on him. And I heard very clearly, you know, I'm to go home with you. And there was somebody looking at him and I was like, no. So I beeline over there. And luckily the person had kind of, you know, just slightly moved to the side and was looking at a few other ones that were right next to him. So I immediately scooped him up. And the funny thing is, you know, again, I traveled down this road rarely. I mean, I would take it sometimes, but not very often because it was a long way around. And I don't even really remember how I ended up on that road because it's a long way around, and I would usually avoid going that way because it took longer. But clearly that was something I was meant to do. And Harvey has been to many states with me. He does not like to have a light put inside of him. He doesn't want to be lit up. He wishes to just be. And I have a Indara crystal that is his partner, and her name is Venus. And it's just interesting. So I'm just telling that story because, again, it's like travel doesn't have to mean you're going to get on a plane or a boat or this or that. It may mean that, but it doesn't have to mean that. Okay, what else do we have? What else do we have? We do have, for animals, we have the buck or stag, however you want to say it. We have, is that a unicorn? We have unicorn, birds, a frog. So if you're someone who wants to look up the energies of these animals, you may wish to look those up. I also see the daffodil here, the yellow daffodil. So if you want to look up that, these are things that may have a message for you. I'm also looking at this emotional healing card, and the tree that is behind her literally has stars on it that are lit up. And so I'm feeling like, isn't it the Empress in tarot that she wears? Her headpiece has, I think it's 12 stars, but hers has stars. And I'm also seeing these, oh, she has butterflies too. And I'm seeing these flowers on her head, which I don't know if this is what they are, but they make me think of morning glories. So you may want to look up that if you're into doing that. Oh, so cute. All right, let's see. Let's pull one of these. Sometimes it's, you know, takes time for these messages to come out. Thank you. We have pride. Pride, which, you know, can get in the way for a lot of us in, oh, look at one of them flipped around, which can get in the way for a lot of us when it comes to asking for help. So if you're struggling with pride, or you don't want to ask because you feel prideful, or you don't want to ask because you don't want to look stupid, you don't want to this, you don't want to that, make no apologies for who you are. Instead, stand tall and be proud. So for some of you, this is, you need to be willing to ask for help and set the ego aside and ask for help. For others of you, you know, like it's saying, you don't need to apologize for who you are, what you're dealing with, what you're going through, how you're doing it. You know, we're all here on a journey. We're all learning. We all make mistakes. We all screw up. It's part of the process. But pride is one of those that it's important to keep it in a state of balance. Frustration. Life can be frustrating when things don't turn out the way we had hoped they would. Releasing expectations. You have worked too hard to give up now. The battle is not lost, right? My ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. Okay? The battle is not lost. It just requires a little more persistence and dedication. The end result will exceed your highest expectations. So, you know, for some of you, there's going to be this, you know, you're going to need to let go of your expectations. And hear me out here. There is a balance, right? I feel like a lot of people say, well, you need to let go. You need to not hold expectations. Well, at the same time, expectations of something are what play a role in our drive to go forward, our drive for change, our desire for change, right? my life, I want it to look like this instead of this. I want a car that's like this instead of that. I want my health to be this instead of this. Whatever that is for you. I feel like expectations are things that help us gain momentum and motivation. Okay. And we can get very, very frustrated when things don't go our way. I mean, let's just face it, we do. This one wanted to stay. Yeah. Release the burden of uncertainty and replace it with trust and surrender. That came out and stayed on it. And again, that can have a lot to do with things that you're trying to manifest. And, you know, that frustration, burden and uncertainty, these things create frustration in us. So I feel like for some of you, there can be this is what's causing, you know, there's expectations that are balanced and healthy and aligned, right? Again, there are expectations or things that we desire and we want it to look like ABC. And it's okay to put those out there and say, this is what I'm wanting, and, you know, this or better, or for my best and highest good, or whatever that looks like in my best and highest good, all those kinds of things, right? But then we can get very, very frustrated when these things don't happen in the time and in the way and with the result that we think they need to be. And then that just brings down our vibration even more. And, you know, I struggle with that quite frequently. You know, that's something, that's just something that's been one of my things to deal with in this lifetime. All right, what else do we have? Compassion. Be gentle with yourself. You are a magnificent soul. Okay. And here we have, you know, expressing yourself because you're awesome. All right. What else? What else? All right. What do we got going on here? Not Most High. What else would be helpful for us to know at this time? That's too many. What else would be helpful for us to know at this time? Yeah. I'm feeling like I just heard the word heart hurts. You know, heart hurts in the sense of there are disappointments, there's heartbreak, there's things like that. I'm even hearing the word betrayal. This is way too many that are at play and being held in the heart versus acknowledgement, processing, and releasing to bring in healing. We do have the word fragile came out. So, you know, and again, which makes sense because here we have compassion, right? So being respectful of where you are. Be respectful of where you are and what you're going through. Be compassionate with yourself. It really is a lot about balance, you know. It's just there's a lot about balance, and balance can seem like an elusive thing. And, you know, all you can do again is do what you can do. Truth. All right. Tell the truth. Integrity is the key to living an authentic life. Now, for some of you, maybe there's something that you weren't completely honest about, and it could be playing out right now. And for others of you, you know, it could be that it's more about you being honest with yourself. But I am seeing, obviously, again, fragile, right? Be compassionate with yourself. Be, you know, empathetic, but not, not brushing it off to not be what it really is, if that makes sense. We need to be honest with ourselves, but from a state of non-judgment. And, you know, even not being non-judgmental can be very challenging, whether it's about ourselves or others or an event or a situation or an environment, you know. Well, again, we are only human, and we can only, you know, I shouldn't say we are only human. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. And there are certain things that as a human we do. And it's part of our growth to learn about those things so that we can move forward in our ascension and in our growth. Spirit, what else do you have? Oh, that's too many. That's way, way, way too many. All right, what else we got? Not so many, please. Not so many, please. You're like, well, then we're just not going to give you any right now. I'm kidding. You know, again, it's a general reading. So, you know, again, only take what resonates and leave the rest. This is what stood out to me when they all fell out too. I don't know if you can see that very well. All right. It says, a moment's joy. Sand through the hourglass, yet time could stand still. A moment lasts forever in the bliss of the heart's will. And I find that interesting, right? A moment can last forever. And I had said, even if you can only hold that energy for 30 seconds of being in that higher vibration, that's 30 seconds. You can say a lot in 30 seconds. So I feel like that's okay. Then we have the Odyssey. Take in the beauty of country lands and botany. Explore the wonder like a gypsy traveler's odyssey. Beautiful, beautiful. And again, travel and travel. All right. Do we have anything else? I do see this keeps standing out to me also, this card that was sitting here in progress, again with a unicorn. So if you're going to look up the unicorn, you may, you know, it may be helpful to you. Charge forward. Be willing to make mistakes. Yeah, see? We talked about that, making mistakes. My ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. But how are we going to conquer our challenges or have success if we don't go forward? Right? And again, I realize that maybe for some of you, as we've seen here, there's a reason to be gentle with yourself, and that's okay. At the same time, being gentle with ourselves because we know we're in a fragile state isn't an excuse to just do nothing. It isn't an excuse to just say, well, I can't deal with it, so I'm just not going to. That's not true. You can deal with it, but maybe you're just going to have to do it at a slower pace, a pace that fits you. And that's, oh, see, forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive others, somebody else who's playing a role in this, and just allow it to be whatever it's meant to be. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I'm feeling like there's something else I'm to pull, but I'm not sure what that is. It's like they're showing me the card, which is the Phoenix, but I can't remember what deck it's in. And they're showing me the card, not the deck. But I guess maybe it's just about talking about it. But there is the Phoenix. Okay, hang on a second here. I don't know why they're drawing my attention to this, but let's see. I hope that didn't mess up the sound on here. I accidentally pushed a button on the earpiece. Okay. Now the Phoenix is not in this deck, but then they drew my attention to this deck. I actually haven't used this deck in quite a while. It's the Gregory Scott Tarot, a tarot of positive clarity. All right. All right. What's the outcome? Let's just look at what is the overall outcome, because it's looking like, okay, so let's just do a quick little recap wrap up. We do have, I think, a lot of planetary movement and influence happening at this time. So you may want to look at your natal chart and or just at least, you know, have an idea of what could possibly be affecting you. I do feel like there is a need for some emotional healing, but it's going to require you to be honest with yourself, own what is yours, let go of the rest. And in owning what is yours, do so with non-judgment, self-acceptance, self-love, self-support. Pride for some of you can be going off into an out of balance direction. So it's important to have that in a healthy state, because we can be prideful to where we don't want to deal with our stuff, because then that would require us to admit that we aren't perfect. At the same time, it's important you don't need to apologize for what you're going through or who you are or how you feel or think and what you're trying to accomplish, do, where you've been, where you are, where you're going. You know, and the frustration. Well, the frustration comes from things not happening on our timetable, an expectation. Again, expectations need to be in a state of balance, because without them, then what's our motivation to want to change things? It plays a role in creating change and in ascension, but when it goes, again, out of balance one way or the other, then it gets into that territory where it's working against us instead of with us and for us. And it creates those frustrations, right? You can make progress, right? It's about allowing yourself to conquer your challenges and go forward and hold on to that potential to succeed. Letting go of the burdens. All right, we got the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Hermit. So what I immediately am drawn to here is the Hermit. I realize those came out first, but the Hermit, and notice I didn't even think about it. I laid it on it's touching this card, these cards, right? Practicing, truth, letting go, and emotional healing. And it's on, you know, the heart area. It is about going within. It is about, you know, going in and doing your inner work. Whether you do that on your own or it would be helpful to you to ask for assistance, then ask for assistance. Page of Wands, this is, you know, to me, this is a card about action, passion, can be about innocence. Can be that maybe you're going to find information or something from someone who's younger. Because again, I didn't even realize I stuck this on the cards where it's the two children instead of the adults. So it could be that maybe there's someone younger than you who's involved in this emotional healing, or it could be that, you know, maybe there's somebody out there who's going to give you a fresh perspective or way of looking at things. And as I say, you know, out of the mouths of babes, right? Or this could just be you. This could be you embarking on a new journey with your innocence, your passion to heal, your passion to move forward, your passion to create, your passion to express yourself, have pride in yourself. You know, again, this is a very general reading, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest. We do have the Knight of Wands. This can be about working hard, again, being creative, being passionate, creating change. This can be about somebody coming into your life, but I'm not really feeling that right now. Could be that it was somebody who was involved in whatever's causing the emotional need for emotional healing. In traditional tarot, a lot of people will talk about how the page of, or the Knight of Wands is somebody who's like an in and out kind of person, which could apply. But I also do feel like it has to do with putting in the work. Putting in the work and facing those challenges. And work is facing our challenges. Work is asking for help. Work is being truthful and honest with ourselves while we're being compassionate because we realize we're in a fragile state. Okay. Is there anything else that you want us to know or you want to share with us at this time? Thank you. Yeah, see, we got the Devil card and the Ten of Wands. So there is the potential to drop this and have all of this end, because tens are about an end of a cycle, a finishing of something. And I feel like, this has all kept you feeling very stuck and like you can't move forward. But there is the end of the cycle here. And again, see, we have 2 children. So, it could have something to do with children. But it's almost like, it's almost like there's been this a self-imposed holding back, a self-imposed stuckness, but it doesn't look like it's self-imposed. You know what I mean? So it can seem like it's everything that's out of our control. And where there are things that are out of our control, well, we can't do anything about those. All we can do is what is within our control for us to do. See, we got 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck again. So again, yeah, endings, and we have the Wheel with the Magician and the Sun card. So I really do feel like, hopefully this is encouraging for you. And yeah, the astrological wheel. So again, I feel like, this is kind of confirming that there are things that have to do with planetary placements that are creating more tension, because it's so much of the energies are moving around, and we've had the eclipses, and it can be a lot, especially if you're sensitive to planetary movement. However, the bottom line is, I feel like if you go within, you do the work. If you need help, get help. If you need a fresh perspective, find that. Be compassionate with yourself. Be truthful and honest with yourself, because there are closures coming. You've got 2 major cycles coming to an end. One that has had this devil energy, which the being stuck, the feeling like you can't do anything, the blah, 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 all that other stuff, coming to a close. When we do the work, we shift things. And we don't feel like it a lot of times, but we are shifting things. And, things can take time. We can get frustrated, but things are all in their own divine time. But you've got the Sun card, the Magician, and the Wheel, which is extremely, extremely powerful changes. The Sun, complete happiness. The Magician, alchemizing, transmuting what has been, that has put you in, had these struggles that you have been in, and transmuting that into your strength, your power, your glory is the word I just heard. The wheel is turned in your favor. So I feel like once these cycles close out, because different people are in different parts of that, some haven't entered this part, some are in the middle of this part, some are just coming out of it, but that you have some wonderful things waiting for you when these cycles close out. So that's what I have for you guys for today. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for being here. If you feel inclined to do so, like it resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe and share, because these are all things that help the channel and help others, hold potential to help others out there who may be looking for a message. And this might be a message they need to hear. So anyways, until next time, guys, bye.